Hello YouTube, this is part 3 of my response to thunderbolt94's video. This part, I have a big problem with, mainly because it almost seems like you forgot the last 2 videos I made. Either that or you didn't get to see them. I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt and assume that you simply forgot. I clarified what I meant by domain of rationality. Before, it was a failure of mine to articulate the point. Now you're strawmanning me. Let's go on.
Now, I'm going to spend the rest of this video covering more about your understanding of rationality. Now, I know you say in the video that you're going to stop using the term the domain of rationality.
Yes, I stopped using that term because of this exact problem. Because of people thinking that I'm saying that all atheists are rational. That they're rational because they're atheist, or that they're atheist because they're rational. That's not what I was saying. I clarified in my other video. I'll clarify in this video a little later.
But I want to cover this one more time so you understand where I'm coming from.
I understand what you're coming from. I even agree with what you're saying. You don't understand where I'm coming from, or you choose not to understand it, or you're ignoring it.
When you say something along the lines that atheists have the domain of rationality, that does not determine whether you are right.
I agree. You're absolutely right. I never claimed it did. Let's say you have 2 people. One person is a normal person who's really good at math. You give them both 2 incredibly complicated math problems. One of them uses logic, his mathematics skills, and arguably rationality to weed out the less likely answers in a multiple choice question. Let's say he has 5 choices, all very similar. He weeds out all the wrong ones, but of the 2 that are one number off, he chooses the wrong one, simply because he's not paying attention. He's rational in his decision, but in that particular instance, he was off by 1 number. The guy next to him is a schizophrenic who hears voices. Now, this guy saw the answer he chose. He doesn't know he saw it, because as he was twitching, he happened to see it. His brain picked up on that. Right before he was going to pick the same answer, a voice in his head told him, no, it's not C, it's B. He gets it right. Now, does the fact that the first guy was rational make him right? Yeah, no. No, it doesn't. He's wrong. But does the fact that the other guy happened to guess the right answer make him not a completely irrational person in those circumstances? That is to say, in that specific instance. Let's say when he's on his medicine, he's perfectly fine and he's perfectly rational. Irrelevant. In that particular instance, even if he's right, the methods by which he arrived at his conclusion are fundamentally flawed. So yeah, I agree with you.
Here, in one of your previous videos, EvoGen videos made a very, very good point, and you never addressed this. You have to address this if you're going to claim that atheists are somehow more rational than theists. I'm going to repeat what he said. He says this: but how do you know which one is being rational? Because you're just stating that one of them is rational and the other isn't. It really has nothing to do with how well constructed or sound their arguments are. It's based on who's making which arguments. It's called a genetic fallacy. Atheists aren't above fallacious reasoning. You never address that. You have been committing a genetic fallacy. Just because someone is an atheist, or just because someone disbelieves in God, that doesn't automatically mean they have the domain of rationality, as you used to call it. It does not mean that just because someone believes in a different way of gaining knowledge about the world, it does not mean they are less rational because they believe in something that is supernatural. That is not how rationality works. Rationality is not a atheist specific thing. It is a tool used by humanity to reach towards conclusions.
You know, I did respond to this. I haven't made the genetic fallacy, not once. I did not say all atheists are rational. I did not say they are immune to fallacious arguments. I said in this particular instance, the methods by which they are coming to their conclusions are rational. All atheists? No. I'm sure some atheists just don't give a damn. Again, deja vu, I said this in another video to you. Either you did not watch that video or you do not care. I clarified this. I'm not saying all atheists are rational. I'm not saying all God-botherers are irrational. What I'm saying is that the methods by which you're attaining your conclusion, the methods that are getting you from point A to point B, are fallacious. Ergo, in this particular instance, we are in the sphere of rationality and you are in the sphere of irrationality. Not because of the conclusion that you reached, but because of the methods through which you reached that conclusion. Your methods are fallacious, irrational, and wrong. All three of those things are separate things. They're not contingent on each other, but they all apply in this case. No, I was not making the genetic fallacy. Yes, I did respond to him.
One specific issue you have is when we come back to the issue of how Christians define faith. And Christians rightfully have defined faith as belief, faith based on knowledge.
And I'm saying, no, you haven't. That's how you're doing it in this argument. Christian faith is faith based on revealed knowledge. Revealed knowledge is knowledge that is privy to you or the people whose testimony you're accepting and nobody else.
You seem to have a big problem with that because you continually claim that faith is not based on knowledge. That isn't the point. When Christians believe that faith is based on knowledge, they are saying that their faith is based on the current data, such as scripture, such as history, testimony, and so on, so on. That is what they would consider knowledge. And based on that knowledge, they would say they would put their faith on that as being reliable.
And I'm telling you, you're wrong whether you consider that knowledge or not. It isn't. It's revealed knowledge. It is knowledge privy to the original individuals who say they spoke to God. No, that is not belief based on knowledge. Belief based on knowledge is just knowledge. It's just not... I have a book here. This is knowledge. It's an anthropology textbook. If I believe something in this book, I'm not going to call it faith. I'm just going to call it knowing shit. Because I read it in this book, and these things can be demonstrated to be the case. Now, if in the beginning of this book, the individual said that this book is made up of many authors, and all of them learn this knowledge by meditating, then I have a problem. Then I can no longer call that knowledge because it's contingent on something called revealed knowledge. And that is faith. Faith is not knowledge or belief based on knowledge. Faith is belief based on revealed knowledge or in spite or regardless of the evidence. I'm granting you that second definition. Let's get rid of the in spite or regardless of the evidence. Let's say it's just the knowledge thing. I'm telling you, Nuh-uh. That's not what faith is. You can define it as that, but you're wrong. That's not what you're doing. I'm saying that the thing you're doing is not that. It is belief based on revealed knowledge that is untestable, unverifiable, and unreliable. Even if you consider it reliable. If I consider my grandmother's opinion about nuclear fusion reliable, that doesn't make it reliable. That just makes me extremely credulous. That's all. Okay, this video is running a little long, so yeah, this was part 3. Part 4 will be up in a few hours, maybe less.